Hey everybody, it's Lala. How have you guys been? I missed you. I hope you missed me. I am here today to talk to you guys about the new Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I have decided to review this show, and I hope I can keep up with it actually, because a lot of stuff has been changing in my life lately, which is why you didn't see me last week because shit just got crazy and surprising, and lots of good things were happening. And yeah, I had to keep up with it. So I haven't forgotten about the other show that I'm reviewing, but I just want to try to come here and talk to you about the first episode of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, titled La La Land. And I'm gonna try not to make it too long. It was pretty much just introductions. That's usually what happens with like the pilot episode or whatever, like the first episode. So I took notes, and hopefully the video won't drag on. But this looks like it's gonna be a good show. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was one of my favorites. It started to drag out a little bit at the end, but I love Jocelyn and Stevie J. I ride for them. Well, not ride for them. I'm not like a stan or anything like that, but I love them. And if they got their own show, I would totally watch it. And yeah, and Benzino, I don't know about that dude. He's real petty, and he just looks like a corny dude with the stuff that he was doing in this past season. But we're not talking about that show. We're talking about Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, which they could have called it Love and Hip Hop LA. I don't know why they went with Hollywood. I don't know. It doesn't really roll off the tongue for me, but in the opening credits, we have Tierra Marie, who is an R&B singer. She's also Ray J's ex. She's I'll talk about it. We have Moniece, who's Little Fizz, his son's mother. April, who is Omarion's girlfriend and soon to be baby's mother. Hazel E, who is an ex-publicist and an aspiring rapper, and like she looks like she's in her mid-30s. I don't know how that whole thing is gonna work out, but yeah. And who else do we have? They have men in the credits this time, which I don't think they had that before, so that was pretty new. They're trying to change it up. They had the new music in the opening credits. We got Ray J, Brandy's brother, who's done everything in the world to not be known as Brandy's brother. He's done a lot of stuff, made music, he's acted, sex tape, just lots and lots of stuff. Ray J, I'm not really a fan. He's a cutie pie, you know, and he has other good, nice things about him. But I don't know. He's yeah. Little Fizz, or Fizz, because he's not little anymore, from B2K. Now he grew into himself, and he's a cutie pie too. I mean, he's young, but he's kind of cute. And well, no, he's really cute, but he's that typical. I don't know. He's like the light skin, curly hair. What do you expect? Kind of cute. I would never date anybody like that. I don't know. You're just too pretty for me. Omarion, who was the lead singer of B2K. Fizz was from B2K. I don't know if I said that. Omarion, who's the lead singer of B2K and a solo artist, because they don't like to be reminded of B2K or to be referred to as the B2K people, even though that's how they introduce themselves, because that's pretty much what they're known as. But you know, they're adults now. And Soulja Boy, who is a rapper and a 13-year-old stuck in a 23-year-old's body. We start off with there are other people, but they weren't in the credits. So yeah, Tierra. We start off with Tierra Marie, and she mentioned she was signed to Def Jam at 16. They dropped her from the label. She says that they were cleaning up, and that she was one of the things that they cleaned up. But the way I see it, she had a future with Roc Nation, and she blew it because she's fucking crazy, which she clearly has shown in the first episode of the show. And they dropped her and went with Rihanna, and look what happened to Rihanna. Like, look at her whole thing. So I mean, if I was Tierra, I'd be salty, because that would have been a hell of a career. But you gotta fix your attitude. You gotta be humble. You can't be a bitch, you know. So anyway, she also mentioned that, she dated Ray J for, what was it, like 9 years off and on. But she's here for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood to let people know that even though she was dropped by by Rock Nation and Def Jam, that she lives and she breathes Ray J. She lives and she breathes music, R&B. Yes, take her seriously for her music, because that is what she is here to tell us. Music, not Ray J. Music. She meets up with her roommate, Hazel E., who is an ex-publicist. And like I mentioned before, an aspiring rapper. She stopped being a publicist. She was clearly successful as a publicist, but she decided that she wanted to become a rapper at this point in her life. And apparently she had a hit called Valley Girl that was big on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast, so I can't say that that's true or it's not, but okay. She's interesting looking. It's her nose, really. I think she's a cute girl, but her nose is very pronounced. So yeah. And so she meets with Tierra because although they're roommates, they haven't seen each other in months because Tierra's been house sitting for someone. And they meet up to talk about Ray J, because she lives and breathes music. And Tierra is talking about how they broke up like 8 months ago when she found some pictures in his phone of another woman, and she got pissed off and punched the shit out of him. And he broke up with her, and they haven't spoken in 8 months. And she misses him. She loves him so much, and she can't believe that they haven't spoken in so long, and she just wants a chance to talk to him since it's been a long time. And he moved the girl in. She was a stripper. The girl that he's dating now is a stripper, and he moved her into his place, or he moved in with her. And Tierra's really salty about it, and she's talking about how she left some stuff over there. Now all of a sudden she wants her stuff back after 8 months, which is, I guess, that it took her 8 months to figure out that excuse as to why Ray J needs to see her. Or maybe Mona gave her the idea, I don't know. But now she wants to talk to Ray J. So we move on and we meet Morgan. She's not in the credits, but she is Ray J's personal assistant, as well as some other celebrities. She's a single mom of an 11-year-old. That whole scene was funny. It's just like, are you ready? They get ready for school. Yes, mother, I am ready to go to school because I am a model child and you are a model mother. It was just like sitting with hands folded like, girl, bye. When I saw her, I was like, she's sleeping with Ray J. She got to be sleeping with her. But they claim that they're really close and like brother and sister. That's what Ray J said too. And he's claiming that he's faithful to his new girlfriend. And she meets Ray J at this venue that they selected for this upcoming event. It's this launch of RayJ.com. Not sure what that's supposed to be, but it's a big deal the way Ray J tells it. Yeah, Ray J's a hustler, so he's got a little bit of money. He's doing a lot. He's always done a lot. I think he hated being referred to as Brandy's brother, and he's done everything that he can to get out of her shadow. So now he's got a new thing called RayJ.com, which a site. They didn't really explain what the site was, or if they did, I wasn't paying attention. But Morgan's talking about it, while she swipes on her little iPad or whatever. Trying to look important. Swipey. And she mentions the guest list. And she's asking why Ray J has like every woman that he's ever screwed on the guest list, including Tierra Marie. Apparently they all used to be close. Ray J, Tierra Marie, and Morgan. But Tierra got drunk at a birthday party and apparently tried to attack Morgan. So, that's a nice way to end a friendship. And, Ray J's like, it's going to be cool or whatever. I got love for Tierra. I got love for her mama and stuff. It's okay. Like, she, this is a big thing. And I just want everything to be all love and peace and stuff. And it'll be fine. And, Morgan's like, I don't want her coming here and fucking up my thing. You know what I mean? Because I got a reputation to uphold, and it may not matter to you, but I don't want no shit going down, at an event that I'm running or whatever. So he tells her to calm her nerves. Everything will be okay. Then we see Omarion. And he's talking about, how he started off as lead singer with B2K, and then he had a solo career, and he also carries a whole lot of swag. Yeah, and at one point he signed a hefty deal with Maybach Music. And let him tell it, he's doing very well for himself, and he's also about to put out an album that we all need to look out for. And they show him and he's going to an ultrasound to get an ultrasound with his pregnant girlfriend April. And while they're there, they talk about April's issues with Omarion's mom. And apparently, they got along at first, but then after April got pregnant, Omarion's mom, Miss Leslie, stopped liking April. And Omarion is just like, look, you got to be the bigger person. That's my mom and everything. I want y'all to be able to look out for each other when I'm out on the road and stuff. She has seizures and everything. She's got her health issues, and you got the baby. So I need you to be the bigger person and try to make an extra effort to get along with my mom, because that's my mom. And see, I don't always agree with that. I think that respect gets respect. And if you're going to disrespect me and be rude to me, I don't really have to be nice to you. I don't owe you anything. I'm not dating you. I'm dating your son. And I feel like Omarion should be able to stand up to his mother and let her know, like, this girl is about to have my baby. She's going to be in my life, and you got to deal with it, because that's the choice that I made. But a lot of times, guys, they take their mom's side, and you just got to hang around and take the beating, which I think is fucked up. But, whatever. So April is just like, I'll try. You know what I mean? I'll try to reach out to her and everything, but I just don't think it's cool that she treats me the way she does. But, I'll do what I have to do, because I understand whatever. I'll try. Then we go to Soulja Boy, and he is at a party. I'm not sure if it's his girl. He shows up at a party with Nia, his girlfriend, Nia Riley, who is Teddy Riley's daughter. I'm not sure if it's her birthday party. He mentions her birthday, that it's her birthday and that it's her night and everything, but I don't know if the actual party is hers or not. I didn't get that. Soulja Boy introduces himself as a rapper, producer, and actor. I have no idea what he's acted in. I don't really follow Soulja Boy, but I feel like I would have known if he was supposed to be an actor, but I don't know. Maybe something is going on that we don't know about. But yeah. Soulja Boy to me is like a 23-year-old Tyler. I mean, that boy is just like a big kid with lots of money and fame. The way your 6-year-old would behave if he was rich and famous, okay, with no home training. He's just a big ass kid, and I'm just like, he's talking about this relationship with Nia, and how they've been off and on for the past 8 years, and I never heard of her. I heard of Soulja Boy and Diamond, but I've never heard of Soulja Boy and Nia. But apparently this is what they're doing for this show, and yeah, she starts off asking him, what are we doing? If you ever have to ask your man that question, you're not doing anything. Because if you're doing something, you would know and you wouldn't have to ask. That's just my opinion. She's like, you gotta let go all these hoes and these groupies and stuff and focus on me. And he's like, okay. That doesn't mean anything. But he says he really wants the relationship to work out. I just can't take anything that comes out of his mouth seriously. I'm sorry. He just, oh God, I can't even see him. I can't. So, we go to Tierra Marie again, and she's on her way to meet with Ray J at his place. She sends him a text like, I'm gonna be there in about 5 minutes or whatever. He like, stay in the parking lot. I'll come out to you. So what she says, when she's there, and she's just like, I know that, we all know Ray J is a womanizer. So I thought that we would wind up getting back together. Like, says shit like that. Like, he's a womanizer, so I figured, after he went out and fucked around, that he would come back to me because I love him. Like, what the fuck? I can't. Tierra Marie. I don't know if I'm supposed to say her name like the whole time or whatever. Tierra Marie. But she seems like she's batshit crazy on this show. Like, I don't know if she understands how she looks. But yeah. So she gets to Ray's house, I guess, and she's like, I miss you, and as a friend, I figured you would have reached out to me, or we would have talked to each other, within the past 8 months. I haven't heard from you in a long time, and you're not taking my calls and stuff like that, and you hurt me, and as a friend, you would realize how you hurt. It is that whole, you owe me because we're friends kind of thing. It's all just typical, like, salty chick stuff, and and he's like, I'm happy, you know what I mean, like, I got love for you or whatever, but I'm happy. And I don't want to hear about you being happy without me. I don't want to hear about you being happy with this bitch and all this other stuff, and you hurt me, and I loved you. Oh, God. And he's just like, and then she's like, I thought we'd be friends. He's like, we are friends. Like, I'm not gonna fuck with you like that, but we're friends. And it was pitiful. Like, that's not the way you handle that situation. You don't get a guy back like that. All you doing is telling the dude that, like, you can have me whenever you want me, and you don't have to show me any type of respect either. Like, you sitting there crying and begging and groveling. Like, what the fuck? Like, she's a pretty girl, and you shouldn't have to do that for anybody. But it's up to her to know her worth. So anyway, he's like, I'm having a launch party, and I'd really like it if you came. And she's like talking about how she wants her stuff back because she left her stuff there. And he's like, I don't know where that stuff is. I don't know if my girl threw it away or whatever. I don't know where it's at. She's like, what? Like, you need to watch it back with that bitch or whatever. And if I see her, you know what I mean, I'm gonna fuck her up and all this other stuff, and she's a bitch to me, and just watch your back with her, because when I see you, right? And it's like, yeah, well, come to my party, even though you just got finished threatening me and acting all crazy, I would like you to come to my event. Which I think is all Mona and not really all Ray J, but they gotta do what they gotta do for a check. So we go to, let me say, Little Fizz, or Fizz. He's in his confessionals looking high as a kite. Like, he's just, the eyes is all red and stuff, and he like, yeah, yo, you know what I'm saying? And in 2010, I had a baby or whatever. Like, I finished up with B2K, and I put out a solo album, and then I had a baby. He had a baby with his then girlfriend Moniece. And apparently, when the baby was about 6 or 7 or 8 months, something like that, the relationship went downhill, and she was violent or whatever. He was leaving with the baby, and she tried to bust out his windows with a car seat with the baby in the car, or whatever, or while the baby was there, while he was trying to take the baby home. So he got a restraining order out against her, and they went to court. He got awarded full custody for a year, and then later on they were awarded joint custody. But the son is still with him full time because she ain't got her shit together. And she, you let her tell it, and well, he's like, she don't have a stable place to stay, and he don't like having to bring the baby to random places all the time because she don't have her own place. And lately she's been kind of blowing him up or whatever, and he hasn't been speaking to her because they shouldn't be talking to each other. If it has anything to do with her seeing a baby, they're supposed to work through his parents. Moniece shows up, and she introduces herself as a singer and songwriter who's been in the business since she was 16. Isn't everyone a singer and songwriter? Obviously not a very good one, because if she was a good songwriter, she would have enough money to do the shit that she needs to do. But she is launching a sex toy company. She says she works all the time. She's working, working, working. She doesn't have time to take a shit or wipe her ass, which I would personally keep to myself. But she's launching this sex toy company where she has dildos that heat up to 107 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. I don't know who in their right mind would put something in themselves that goes up to 107 degrees. Okay? And I feel like you even marketing a product like that, like lawsuits. You ain't gonna be spending that money on your son. You're gonna be spending that money on lawyers. Because who the fuck would use something like that? 107 degrees? Like, are you serious? Are you serious? 107 degrees? Like, who even requests shit like that? I don't know, but she was really proud of it. She was really proud of having something like that. So maybe that's some shit that she's into, but I don't think it's something that normal people do. She can't really provide for her son, and then she's like, she's meeting with Morgan. Remember, we met Morgan a little earlier on with Ray J, and she's talking about how, well, she's meeting with Morgan while she's getting her hair done. Okay? She doesn't have the time or the money or anything to spend with her child, but she's getting her hair done. She's looking good in her confessional. She's got these nice outfits and stuff like that. She's got money to launch a sex toy company, but she ain't got no money to take care of her kids. Her kid. So I just don't, I don't know if she wants us to feel sympathy for her. She's like, she has her son on the weekends, and he's mostly with Drew or Fizz, and she's been, the restraining order has been lifted, but she doesn't even know where they live, and she's been reaching out to Fizz, but he hasn't been like answering her calls or responding to her, and she just wants to know about her son. Morgan was like, bitch, you crazy. And she's like, when I get angry and all this other stuff, and I fight with and she's like, you're crazy. You fight. You fight with your hands and all this other stuff. So she's just co-signing on everything that Fizz said about the bitch being crazy. And I just don't understand how you don't have time for your child. Like, I'm a single mom, and when I got a lot to do, I got a lot to do, but I will always have time for my children. That's not a sacrifice that you make. You make the other sacrifices, like getting your hair done, or buying new clothes, or launching a sex toy company. Those are the sacrifices you make. But you don't just put it on somebody else to take care of your kid or your kids. Like, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you about that. There's other things that you can do. But I'm not going to sit here and listen to you while you walking around looking good, all done and primped and pressed and everything, and you ain't got no time for your child. Or a pot to piss in, or a window to throw it out of. So we go to Nia's house, Nia Riley, Soulja Boy's girlfriend, and she and Soulja Boy they're talking about moving in with each other. She mentions that she has a 1-year-old daughter that she had during her off season with Soulja Boy. So she's got a 1-year-old from another relationship, and Soulja Boy is talking about how he worries about how moving in with each other is going to affect their relationship, because they're cool now, they don't fight and stuff like that now, but when you spend a lot of time with each other, that's when shit pops off, and he doesn't want this to affect the relationship. I think, and he says that he's turned up and he does all of this stuff, he's partying all the time, and Nia's just a regular girl. He's saying that it's not going to be a good idea moving in with each other. He knows that. He does not seem to want to get rid of his single, superstar party boy lifestyle to have this little family situation. But she's like, it'll work out. You just got to change your shit up and come over here to the settled side. And he's like, okay. And Soulja Boy accepts the baby, the 1-year-old. He's saying that, if he went off and had a baby in another relationship, he wouldn't want Nia to be like, I'm not going to fuck with you because you got a baby. So he wouldn't do that to her. Like, he wishes that the baby was his, but it's not. And shit happens, we go to April and Omarion's new house. And Miss Leslie, who is Omarion's mom, shows up to the house for the first time. She shows up with the stank face. Okay, she's all like, this is nice. This is the first time I've been here. Okay, this is nice. And, you know, and April's like, I want to have a relationship with you because the baby's coming. And I want you to be involved, and I want you to be a part of the baby shower and a part of the baby's life and everything, and I would like us to have this relationship. And Miss Leslie, she's got this look on her, like it's not right to jump to conclusions when you see somebody or whatever, but she just looks like she's fucking difficult. And she's like, well, we were cool at first or whatever, and then shit changed when y'all moved out here to Hollywood. And when she used to be a hairstylist, a celebrity hairstylist apparently, and then she got sick and started having seizures and stuff like that. So Omarion told her, like, I'll take care of you, and I'll cover your medical bills and I guess other bills and stuff like that, and I'll take care of you since you're too sick to work. And she says that when they got pregnant and moved out to Hollywood and to their new house, like, all the money got cut off and the bills weren't being paid anymore and the phone calls stopped and everything, and she's blaming April. Apparently April was also helping with the medical bills and everything. She says that she doesn't know what changed, but she assumes that April is what fucked everything up for her, fucked up her free ride, basically. Like, don't you realize what you sound like saying all of this? And April was just like, why would you think that was my doing? Like, I was helping out too, and Miss Leslie is just like, you know what, I'm his mom. Like, I was already here, like, that's my son and he's gonna come around eventually, but you're new here. I don't have to get along with you if I don't want to, but you have to get along because you're the newcomer to the family. Like, what the fuck? Like, see, when we get to this point, I'm not being nice to you anymore. If you don't want to fuck with me, I don't want to fuck with you. And that's fine, okay? I'm going to just do me and be with my boo or whatever, and you can do you and be over here. Like, you'll always be his mother, but right now, this is the situation. I'm in his life, and I'm having his baby. They should be married, but, I'm having his baby and I'm his woman, and it is what it is. But you gonna look me in my face and tell me that you're not gonna show me no type of respect because you don't have to? Girl, bye. So we see Moniece again. She's showing up at the studio to surprise Fizz. And, she's talking about how they should have a civil relationships, for the sake of the son, Cameron. And, she's been reaching out to him and he hasn't been answering her calls and stuff, and she just wants to know about his son and stuff. And she tells us that she had to make sacrifices or whatever, and the sacrifice was the time with her child. I already told y'all how I feel about that. There's no excuse, okay? And even Fizz says, like, it don't matter how much money you have. What matters is the time that you spend with your child, and she just don't put in enough time. So they argue back and forth or whatever, and then she leaves. And, he's like, that's what you do. You always say what you got to say, and then you leave. And she's like, she's walking out the door talking about, what happens whenever we get together and we start arguing. What happens? Ass whoopings happen. Ass whoopings happen. And it's just like, or ass kicking or whatever. And it's like, you standing here, like I said, co-signing, just like Morgan was saying, with you being crazy, you co-signing on the fact that you get violent. And it's just a bad situation. So we go to Ray's event. This is pretty much where the show kind of ends off. But we go to Ray's event, and he arrives with his girlfriend, Princess. Tierra and Hazel E arrive a little later on. And Tierra says that she don't want to go to the party or go to anything that's celebrating Ray J right now because she ain't fucking with him like that. She's mad at him. But she wants him to cut her a check for the items that she left at his house that now he has no idea where they are, that his girlfriend probably threw away. So she's drinking. Hazel's like, you done had about 10 drinks, and she's like, well, motherfucker, I want to have an 11th drink. And Morgan overhears this and is just like, see, this shit about to start, because she's drunk, obviously. She's loud, and, it's just not a good look. And we got Princess over here, with Morgan showing pictures of the shit that she found in Tierra Marie's bag, of yeast infection creams and passports and just like, you know, regular, I guess regular women shit. But because she had some monostat or whatever and some other stuff in there, Princess wants to be petty and poke fun and shit. Like she ain't never had a yeast infection. Like, bitch, if you're a woman, you done had one. It just is what it is. But you know, she wants to embarrass her, and Princess should have just kept her fucking mouth shut in the first place, cause you trying it, cause she didn't come there to get with you. She came there to talk to Ray J. So Tierra walks up to Ray J like, I think you owe me a check or whatever. You need to cut me a check for the shit that you know got thrown out. He's like, I bought most of that shit. Like, come the fuck on, go shopping already, which I thought was kind of funny. And then Princess comes up with her little phone page. Is this what it was? Is this your stuff right here, huh? You know, monostat and yeast infection creams, coochie creams, or whatever. And needless to say, Tierra gets pissed off or whatever and throws a drink. Bitch, you don't fuck with me and da 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 whatever. And then security comes and that's how the show ends. So it looks like this is gonna be an interesting series. I am going to review it. I will try not to make the videos this long, but of course we had to introduce everybody. So just to keep it from going any further, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys. I will see you again soon. And yeah, thanks for watching. All right, bye.